Welcome back to another episode of the Silly Little Girls Club, and my guest today is the incredible Amy Liu, the founder of Tower 28, one of the most talked about, anticipated skincare brands that launched in 2019 but is just launched in the UK. It is all around sensitive skin and having incredible ingredients that actually work and are clean and safe for the skin. It has been Sephora's most waitlisted product. Like, it is an incredible story from beauty exec to founder, and I can't wait for you to hear this conversation. Amy, welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Oh my God, I'm so honored that you would come on the Silly Little Girls Club while you're here.
I'm thrilled.
Like, honestly, I feel like you've got one of the most talked about beauty brands of the moment. Like, it's actually incredible what you're doing with Tower 28. Like,
It's so nice to hear you say that because I think especially coming to a new market like the UK, I was so nervous that people wouldn't know.
oh, they know.
Well,
And it's almost like they've been waiting for it.
well, I say that we actually had the biggest wait list Sephora's ever had for a launch.
Stop it. Oh my God, that is serious kudos, isn't it?
I
Like,
mean, it feels good.
yeah, and that kind of can take a little bit of that nerves out of it, hopefully, if you know you've got a demand there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I still so we get sales every Sunday from all our retailers.
Yeah.
And and they don't come exactly at the same time. So it could come anytime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And every Sunday, I know it's Sunday. And I wait.
You refresh.
And I refresh. And every Sunday, I'm like, what if no one buys anything?
Oh, then that's not
Do
going
you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's like unrealistic.
But I think as a founder, and that's the founder's brain, isn't it? Like, always worrying and like thinking, God, what if this doesn't work? But we never think, what if it all works out?
100%.
Like, and I think that's that mentality that we need to really train ourselves to have.
Yeah, totally.
But I suppose, like, for your journey from like beauty exec to now founder,
Yeah.
and obviously you've had like the eczema's kind of it's shaped your mission, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't it? So, like, what happens when a beauty exec can't use the products that she's helping to create, basically, and then leads you to this? How has that all happened?
Yeah. So, I mean, exactly that situation is the one that really inspired me to start Tower 28. I had eczema, and I think for me, it occurred a lot on my face and on my hands. So, very public places. And as the person who was, as a beauty executive, I was selling in products to the merchants, fall, holiday, spring, summer, and telling them about like the next greatest skin moisturizer or foundation, like these skin perfecting ingredients and products. And I think I felt like a real imposter. Like when you have skin that is so troubled and you're trying to cover it up, but yet you're like, this is so amazing. It's going to make your skin perfect, but don't look at mine. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I did what I think most people would do. I tried a lot of different things. I tried, the only thing that really worked for me is steroids.
Yeah.
So obviously I tried like acupuncture. I'm Chinese. So I tried like different kind of like TCM therapies and every diet under the sun. But the thing that worked for me was steroids.
Right.
I got into a really bad habit of topical steroids. Steroids never really worked that well for me. Oral did. But then I was taking it sometimes even before I needed it.
Right.
Because I
feel it preemptively almost.
well, you're like, I'm going to a wedding and I want to look nice, or I have a presentation and I want to look nice.
Yeah.
I had this really difficult skin, which is, so in case you don't know, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, they're all kind of cousins of each other. And the commonality is that they are inflammatory diseases, no cure, no cause, and chronic.
Yeah.
So like once you have it, you will always have it. I still get it.
Yeah, it's like managing it, isn't it? It's kind of what they expect you to do, right?
Yes, and then it's about managing it and not poking it. So I became really nervous about what I was putting on my skin and what was going into my bloodstream. And I started being just much more thoughtful about it. And that was really when I started learning about ingredients. And that's why today we avoid essential oils, fragrance, chemical sunscreens, many preservatives, basically all of these things that are just can provoke your skin. And that doesn't mean it provokes everyone's skin, but for some people it does. And so we just avoid those things.
Yeah.
But then just because something is say for sensitive skin, it doesn't mean that it's clean.
Yeah.
And clean, listen, I'm really mindful of like all the greenwashing that
Mhm.
happens out there. For me, it is really because if you have sensitive skin and your skin barrier is open,
Yeah.
I'm even more thoughtful about what's going on my skin. So they say that like I can't remember the statistic, but I think it's like 70% of what you put on your skin goes in your
Yeah.
bloodstream.
There's something crazy scary like that,
Your
isn't
skin
it?
is your largest organ
Mhm.
and everything gets
Yeah.
absorbed. So if that's the case, I think like, oh, but what if my skin's open?
Yeah.
Right? My skin barrier is broken.
Mhm.
Then I need to be really thoughtful about it.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing that really made me think, okay, well, I just want to make sure, like, just in case it's an insurance
Yeah.
policy, why include these ingredients like talc or like
Mhm.
anything that is kind of known to be not great for you?
Yeah.
Why not just avoid it?
Gosh, you make it sound so simple. Like, like why aren't people thinking like this?
Yeah.
Like it's,
I
you
actually
know,
think it is kind of simple.
yeah.
I think it's also like a way of life. Like
Mm.
I have friends, I'm not gluten free, but I have friends who are gluten free, and that just becomes a way of life.
Yeah.
And for me, like the way that I approach beauty is also like a way of life for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's really just it makes it's resonating with me that is just like a really like obvious outlook, but not many people really think like that. So that's
Well, I
really
think
unique.
because some people have a flare up or a skin issue and it happens in a moment in time and then they go back to their
Yeah.
regular routine.
Or they take the steroid and,
Yeah,
and control it and then carry on, right?
100%. And for me, I really felt like this is just my always on. This is my situation. And so I'd rather like have products. So that's why if you look at our products, they don't necessarily scream sensitive skin,
Mhm.
right? They're more like bright and fun and
Yeah.
colorful and beachy. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to still feel like I got to shop at Sephora.
Yeah, not like you're using something medicated and like, it's not inclusive and you don't get to be like everybody else, right?
And I'm not relegated to being using something that says like a big red cross on
Yeah,
it.
medicinal.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
And so boring, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not what beauty is. Beauty is meant to be like fun. Makeup is fun.
Yeah. And I think, for people that are conscious of things like that and they just want to be included and like be seen, to have a product line that caters to that, but is beautiful and is that they can get out with their friends and be like,
Yeah.
look, I've got this. That is, it's just so lovely.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that makes me feel so excited about what we do, actually, I had a little girl tell me this the other day. I think she was maybe like 12 years old, and she was going to a birthday party. And the summer party, they asked everybody to bring some beauty products because they were going to share what their routine
Yeah.
was or something like that. And so she went to Sephora with her mom, and her mom was like, okay, you can only use things that
Mm.
are okay with your eczema.
Yeah.
And she bought our products, and she showed up at the birthday party, and she said that her products were actually the most coveted.
Yeah.
Everybody was like and so it went from, like, being this thing that she was really afraid of,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden she was, like, the cool one.
Yeah, and that must be so empowering and to be able to deliver that to somebody that's, conscious and like
Yeah.
wants to fit
Well,
in.
especially because I think that particular person, like me,
Mhm.
is so afraid of making their skin worse,
Yeah.
right? But yet you have this very complicated, relationship with your skin and
Mm.
with your I don't know, this idea of beauty, I think is complicated for us as people, but especially as women.
I think it's also confusing because I think people are told there's so much noise going on, isn't there, in like the beauty world and the beauty sphere of like what you should do and what you shouldn't do and people trying different things. And like I think especially with like sensitive skin, there it almost feels like there is this glaring gap that needed Tower 28
Oh.
because like it just will simplify it for people and be like, right, look, this can help you. It's like a solution based like product, right?
I mean, it is a solution-based product, but I also like to think that we do a really good job of, getting the credibility from a third party.
Mhm.
So we test everything
Yeah.
to make sure that like, listen, our goal is to be a safe space for sensitive skin. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And in order to do so, we really rely on experts. So we work with the National Eczema Association, rosacea, psoriasis. We have all of those 3 seals. In addition to that, we just, like, honestly test so much to make sure we have clinically proven, dermatologist
Mhm.
approved, ophthalmologist. And then we also have a medical research, board, our own advisory
Yeah.
board, and it's a plastic surgeon, a dermatologist, and an esthetician,
Wow.
where we have them really look at all the ingredients, and they're with us through development.
Yeah.
And so I think we just try really hard.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
How do you go then to like, how do you even start building this kind of business? Because, when it's all built and it's here and it's like amazing, and you get to do all
Yeah.
these like incredible opportunities and like hear these amazing stories, but like, how do you go from like, yeah, doing your like day to day
Yeah.
to creating something like this?
Well, I've worked in the beauty industry
Yeah.
for a long time. So it's been at this point, it's been 23 years
Yeah.
that I've worked in beauty. And I think when you work in the same industry for a long time, and I've worked for other people,
Yeah.
that along the way, I kept thinking to myself, well, if I was in charge, I would do this different. And you collect these things as you go. And then this is really my expression of all of those collective decisions I would make. And so that's really what Tower 28 is. And so everything from, like the way that we spend our money. So we spend as much money as anyone else does on the stuff on the inside of the product,
Yep.
but we spend less on the packaging
Mhm.
and on, like, for instance, we don't even have unit cartons, like boxes.
Yeah.
On some
This is unnecessary secondary packaging,
and
right?
I just think you're just gonna throw it away
Yeah.
anyway, and so why would we do that?
Yeah.
And that's money I can save and that I can then pass on a better price to the
Yeah.
customer. So, for instance, our lip gloss or lip jelly
Yeah.
is 16 pounds,
Yeah.
and I would say the average at Sephora is probably more like 25.
Yeah. It's a really accessible price point, and I
Yeah.
think especially for young women as well, that like, because I know from speaking with people at Sephora, they have a really young audience now,
Mhm.
and so to be able to do something for them and them like their parents be able to get it for them,
Yeah.
that's like actually a really nice consideration as well.
Well, and it's still really good product
A
too,
very good
right?
product.
So the sacrifice is not,
Yeah.
like, on the product itself.
Mhm.
We invest in the actual packaging too, in the sense that we use recycled
Yeah.
plastic. So we're trying to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So it's very much based on my
Yeah.
values as opposed, and I'm really trying to provide value to the customer too.
Yeah, and it seems that way, like, and I think as beauty products launch and new things come to the market, when you hear that they're doing their best to be sustainable, eliminating
Yeah.
unnecessary packaging and making it accessible, like it's it really just inspires me to know that the beauty industry is going in that right way, because it sometimes seems like people just get so lost in this like
Yeah.
beautiful aesthetic, and you show that you can create that without unnecessary waste.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think that's true. I think the other thing that we're really trying to do is make sure that we're showing images of like diversity and people of color in everything that we do, and that one thing that we're trying to do more of, frankly, that I think we haven't done as good of a job is to show different skin types
Yeah.
too, like so textured skin that is not so aspirational, but do it in a way that feels both relatable and
Yeah.
aspirational.
Yeah.
And it's a constant struggle, to be honest with you. It's actually quite difficult to find models with difficult skin.
Well, yeah, I can sure. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's like you need to find like real people almost, right? Because I think you did this whole like it's okay to be sensitive movement,
Yeah.
right? And how did that impact that? Was that something that helped bring more people to the community?
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal with so much of what we do is we're trying to make it so that people can see themselves
Hmm.
in what we're doing. And the idea of it's okay to be sensitive is exactly that. It is obviously a double entendre,
Yeah.
and it's meant to be something where, like, I spent so much time hating my skin as opposed to expecting it,
Hmm.
like accepting it. And
Yeah.
I used to wake up in the morning and just be like, oh God, is it gonna be okay today?
Yeah.
And so I really understand that situation. The great irony is, like, now my skin's actually never been better. And, like, I mean, I would like to say it's, like, the products, but it's also,
It's your experience, right? And like,
yeah, but, like, but I really do understand what it's like.
yeah, and I suppose it's understanding things if it causes flare up and things like that. And it's like you learn, it's awful, like you do learn to live with these things and learn the best way to manage them.
Yes, and
So,
for me, it is my eggs. I truly do. Have you ever read there's a book called The Body Keeps a Score?
no, I haven't read that one.
There's this really famous book called The Body Keeps the
Hmm.
Score, and it's the idea that, like, we in general all experience trauma, stress, all of these things, and if in your body, if you don't kind of resolve it, even you don't have to fix it, but you
Yeah.
have to at least acknowledge it.
Hmm.
But otherwise, it sits in your body.
Yeah.
Stress
Yeah.
sits in your body and it has nowhere to go,
Hmm.
and so it appears symptomatically in other ways. Whether it is, for me, it's eczema.
Yeah.
For somebody else, it might be digestive issues. It could be back pain.
Mhm.
All kinds of
But there's
things.
a huge thing anyway with like skin is an organ and people forget that.
Skin is your body's
Yeah.
largest organ.
And like your skin literally, for example, whenever I'm stressed or anxious, I have like a histamine reaction. It's so weird. You'll touch my skin and it'll go bright red.
Yeah.
And that's like a body reacting to something. And it's like I think people genuinely forget that your skin is your largest organ, right?
Totally.
This episode is brought to you by our season sponsor, Sephora. And if you haven't been to Sephora yet, where have you been? It's the ultimate beauty playground with 8 stores across the UK and a line of brands that you won't find anywhere else. I'm talking Tower 28, Merit, Glow Recipe, Makeup by Mario, all of the viral faves under one roof. Whether you're into skincare, fragrance, hair care, or full glam moments, Sephora's got you covered. Honestly, it's the dream. Head in store or online to explore the magic.
And for me, it's exactly like that. This is the expression of my skin. And I really do think part of the reason, and this is getting a little woo, but I really think part of the reason I don't have as much eczema now is because I really feel like I've found my purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm less stressed.
No, but I don't think that sounds woo-woo at all. I think there's definitely a lot to be said in that, because stress and those sort of like things that we go through and maybe don't process, like you're saying, or just things that we don't even realize. Because I think people can be so stressed and overwhelmed and not realize, but our skin knows.
Yes.
And you see it.
And
And
we
then,
just keep going through life.
yeah, we just put something over the top, cover it up, and carry on.
And that's so metaphorical, but it is true.
Yeah.
Like we just sort of keep calm and carry.
Yeah, we do. And actually, what we need to be doing is processing this.
Yeah.
Like figuring out what we're doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, when you find your purpose and you get that fulfillment, and I think, yeah, like it sounds like your journey has just led you like beautifully into creating this brand. And that must feel so rewarding.
Yeah, it does feel really rewarding. I think I definitely have these moments. I think that the thing that probably makes me the most motivated to do what I do is, I mean, honestly, last week this guy came up to me. I didn't even know he knew who I was, and he was like, "I just want to tell you, your products have saved my skin better than Accutane."
Wow.
And I was like, "What?"
Wow. He's like, can you write that down?
Yeah,
Can I
yeah,
get a note?
why do you say that?
Yeah.
Would somebody videotape that?
Yeah, literally. Can we, do you mind?
I was like, "You want to say it again?"
Yeah.
But in general, I think it's really true. Like, I think that beauty, so I've worked in beauty for such a long time, and that's a lot of people are shocked when I say this, but I actually don't like love makeup. I'm not someone who like, there are girls on my team who you could take them to Sephora and they would just like
Really,
buy
I love
everything. I don't feel like that.
Mm-mm.
For me, it really is. What I'm fascinated by and what I love is how the role that beauty products play in our lives and how they almost act like an armor for us, where we put it on, we instantly feel better about ourselves and we're able to go into the world more confident. And I think that the idea that I could play a part in someone's life that way and that they would be more confident, aspire for more, do more in their lives because of that, I think that's really exciting.
I mean, yeah, that is just incredible to be able to have that kind of effect on somebody. It's like I do it with hair. When people come in and they feel terrible, like, because at my core, I'm a hairdresser. So, like, you have someone sit and they just feel so low. They've been going through something. They sit in your chair and then you do something for them and then they leave and they feel
Such a similar experience. Hair is also like such an intimate experience, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't like the way that your hair looks, you just
tie it up and hide it, or you just like, oh no, your hair looks great. You've got your little clip in there, it looks great. But yeah, it's that feeling and that emotive reaction that we can create in people through beauty. And I think that's so underrepresented and it's undervalued, really. Like,
I have in my career, I've had so many people say, when things get stressful, people will inevitably, somebody says, it's not like we're curing cancer. And I always think to myself, like, yes, fine, we're not curing cancer, but one, we don't have to give people cancer.
yeah,
And two, I actually think what we do is really important. Yes. I think that we are giving people the opportunity to feel good in their own skin.
yeah. And it's not, to speak openly, like my little sister, she's got cancer, and she's going through treatment at the moment. But speaking to beauty products and things like that, like these are simple things that she's doing throughout her treatment, like these creams that she's using because her skin's really suffering, and it's those little things that make her feel good.
Yes.
And it's honestly, for me, that seeing the results that she's getting from using her beauty products rather than the suffering she's getting from the medication. It feels as important to me that you have
love
both.
to gift her, by the way, but also like I do think that is when you have something like that going on, then you're even more careful about the ingredients that you're using.
Absolutely.
And you want to feel safe. You want to feel like you can do it without making your
Yeah.
own situation worse,
Exactly.
perpetuating your
And we've had to research so many different things because all of her usual products, because she's a beauty therapist by trade, really, but nothing's working.
yeah.
And so it's just like, yeah, finding all these different things. And it's like, again, it was really resonated when you were saying about your packaging and stuff like that, because she's using these creams that just look awful. And it's like, it doesn't make her feel good to have them all on the side. So they're in a little bag. And I'm like, oh my God, you need to, I'm like going to get her a load of your stuff because I think it'll be
Aw.
amazing. But I think it's all about breaking those beauty barriers, right? And I think that, it's not just like the ingredients, because it is super important, but it's about that performance as well. And I feel like your products have really managed to do the good ingredients and the performance.
Yes.
And yeah.
It's funny you say that because I think so I love my two favorite comments that I get from customers are, one, I've never been able to wear makeup
Mhm.
before, like, thank you so much. But then the other one is, like, Katie Jane Hughes
Mhm.
is a makeup
Yeah.
artist who I'm very friendly with. And, like, we've seated her and she loves our products and she's like, "Wait, I had no idea your products are for sensitive skin." But she's someone who knows good products.
Yeah.
And so that also makes me so happy,
Yeah.
right? Like someone who just feels like
These are
it's
great
high
products.
performance. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing, isn't it? And I think that's that element of inclusivity and accessibility for people, is not thinking that I've got this specific product for sensitive skin. This product works for everybody, but actually I'm part of that now. I'm everybody.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know, there's not many brands that really manage to navigate that very well. And I think that's why I think everyone's so hyped for Tower 28.
Yeah.
So, and I think, in the UK, like, because we never see the sunlight and our skin's probably the driest of dry, I think I'm sure it's gonna just go crazy here.
Oh,
I think you're
fingers crossed.
Oh my God, absolutely. And I've seen all these activations that you've been doing, like all the dinners, and people are really resonating with it. Like,
Oh,
I
thank
feel like
you.
that must feel so wonderful.
Well, it feels wonderful, but I still feel very like delightfully surprised. It's that people even know who we are is really exciting.
No, I think, yeah, and more people are about to know, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like a very woman-led, community-focused brand,
Yeah.
right? And like, how intentional was it that it's like, women built, women powered, and like, is that something that was intentional in the brand messaging, or?
For sure. I mean, I think it's also again back to my values
Mhm.
personally. I really believe in collaboration over competition. I think at the beginning of my career, I really felt like that wasn't the case. I felt like women were not like that in like the
No.
early 2000s. That was not happening. And I think one of the best things that's happened in more recent years is this feeling of collaboration. And honestly, the truth is it's also much more fun.
Yes, it's so much more fun.
Yeah.
Like, we have so much shit to deal with as women as it is, without, trying to climb over each other to get nowhere,
Well, and
really.
I joined this it's like a club for business people
Mhm.
called YPO, and I've gotten to know so many of these men who are very successful, and I notice how they just help each other. Like they bring each other deals, they help each other invest,
Mhm.
they help each other
Yeah, it's
so
the boys'
much.
club. It's like
And I'm
tales
like,
all the
wow,
time, isn't
why
it?
don't women do
Mm.
this more?
Mm.
And I think you have to like walk the walk and be a role model. And so I really try as much as I can
Yeah.
to make sure that I do that too.
No, and I think that's so inspiring. I personally feel like there is a bit of a shift happening in this
Yeah.
beauty industry where people are more collaborative and like they're more
Yeah.
open and sharing, because in the hair industry, it's like it's very obviously walks very similar line to the
Yeah.
beauty world, and it's everyone used to not share and be very closed off, and now it's this amazing space where people really do talk and connect, and
Yeah.
I love that that's crossing over everywhere, and I
Yeah.
think the more
Same.
we can do that as women, the further we'll go, because like you said,
Oh,
this
for
boys
sure.
club,
For sure. And
like,
it's already changed so
yeah,
much.
and I just want to see it change more and more and more, like.
Me too.
It's funny because this is how the podcast came about, like the Silly Little Girls Club, because when I first started my business 8 years ago, over my first salon, the landlord called me a silly little girl because he did not understand the impact of the beauty world. And,
Oh.
he looked at my business plan and was like, "You're never going to do that." And I was like, and
Wow.
to my face called me that. And I was like, wow. And like, that really fueled me. I was
Yeah.
like, you have no idea what
It's so
we can.
interesting. Words really matter.
Yeah.
Like it really matters what people
Yeah, and he
say
had
to
no
each other.
problem saying that, and I'm just thinking, God, I would never say to another woman, like, "You're not gonna do that." I would never say to a man, like,
Yeah.
it's just a bizarre thing, and I think, yeah, the more that we can.
But good for you that you
Go
took that as you could have taken it two different ways, right? You
Ooh.
could have taken that as being
Yeah, but he was a geriatric idiot.
yeah,
So I was just like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And I feel like that's a power as a woman to be able to do that.
yeah, for
And I
sure.
think, yeah, it's yeah, absolutely amazing. I feel like you said that like obviously sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. But what has that looked like for you, especially as like a founder?
I think it's a lot about the way that I try to lead and
Mhm.
try to role model in the company. So I think so often, and even as a parent, I would say, like, I think we think that the way to lead is to be strong and to act like you know everything.
Mhm.
And in the beginning, I will tell you, I really thought I knew more than I did.
Mhm.
I worked in the same industry for such a long time that when I started, I was like, "Oh, I know so much. I've worked in this industry." But I realize now there's so much that I don't know, and also that things change so
Yeah.
quickly. So then how can you ever know? So I try to in terms of sensitivity, I try to really lead with, like, this real honesty around and vulnerability around, like, what I know and what I don't know, and I don't pretend
Yeah.
to know things that I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And I get like that kind of will inspire your team to do a similar thing, right? And you
Yeah.
attract that kind of thing. Because how has it actually been to like obviously start scaling a business and bring people in? Because that must have been like,
It's the hardest part, to be
mhm,
honest with you. I mean, we as a team have grown from I think a year and a half ago, we were 12 people,
yeah,
and now we're 35.
wow,
So that's a lot of new people
yeah,
in a really short amount of time.
yeah,
And we probably will be, I would guess we'll be 40 by the end of this year.
wow,
So we're still hiring right now.
mhm,
And when you add people, these aren't replacing people, right?
yeah,
It's like net new
bringing more in,
people.
yeah,
It's hard. And I think the thing that's really important is that you keep the culture that you've had and you keep the values
yeah,
that you've had. Otherwise, you can't scale the same
no.
way.
And I think that's, yeah, I think that's one thing that I've noticed that it's every book, every business book that I've read that's been like an American-led business has these values and these
Mhm.
like core like compass. And it's something that I've taken and done within my
Yeah.
company.
Is that
And
different than
I've but
a British attitude,
I
you
would
think?
say so. Like, I think people, like, I don't know, like, maybe they do have them in that way, but they're never championed as like your guiding compass and things like that. And I think
Yeah.
once you narrow in, and that really changed everything for me, is having those values and our
Mhm.
vibes. And like I say, it just makes that you connect with the right people, then, don't you? And it
Yeah.
comes in, and it does help because, yeah, like you say, people are the most challenging part of
It's the best and the
anything.
worst part.
Yeah, I would completely agree with
Yeah.
that. Like, it's too much. And there's all these external things of getting to, like, connect with Sephora and places like that
Yeah.
to, like, bring in your products. That must have felt amazing to get to do that.
Well, luckily, I've worked with Sephora my
Mhm.
entire career, and so it is really, like, this very full circle
Yeah.
moment to be I mean, I launched, when I worked at Smashbox
Yeah.
in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
and I launched Smashbox here in the UK
Mhm.
at that time.
Wow.
And, that didn't last,
Yeah.
but yet we're back here again, and so to come back again 20 years later
Mhm.
and to do with my own brand feels like
Yeah.
super full circle.
I mean, that's incredible. That must feel like a
Yeah,
really surreal moment. Like, what
yeah.
was it like the first time you walked into a store and saw your products there?
Ugh. So I'll
Right.
say 2.
Yeah.
The first time I walked into the store and saw my products in America,
Yeah.
so we launched in April of 2019, and we
Mhm.
were in Sephora stores
Yeah.
by March of 2020.
Oh gosh, that's quick.
So that's, like, less than a year
Yeah.
later, right? And that was really exciting. We went into every store in America, which is, almost 800 stores,
Incredible.
with a half shelf, but nobody knew who we were.
Mhm.
So when we went into the store I would go into the stores and I'd be like, "Hi, do you" I wouldn't even say, like, who I was. I would just say, "Hi, like, can you show me where Tower 28 is?" And they would say, "Oh, we don't carry that."
Oh,
I was like, "Actually, you do."
yeah. Oh my god.
And so it was really like this slower build that
Yeah.
had to happen,
Then
which
you're like, right,
happens
brand
that
awareness.
well, and I'm not a celebrity, I'm not an influencer, I don't own a platform of influence,
Mm.
and so I could understand it, but it was very humbling.
Yeah.
And then launching here in the UK and coming in, and it's like a launch, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're in the windows, I was just at the White City store,
Yeah.
and you walk through the store, and it's on the electronic billboards, and then you walk in, and it's in the window, and it's on the beauty studio, it's at the cash wrap, it's on the videos,
Yeah.
and it felt like a real launch,
Yeah.
and that feels and I'm in another country,
Yeah.
right? And I'm surrounded by different accents.
Yeah.
I'm clear that this is not America
Yeah.
anymore. And yet, eh, I'm still like, I'm like, people know who we are. Like, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, and that's I like you say, like, I think that sort of slow, sustainable growth, though, it really does, like, going from, like, half shelf and, like, that happening to this and it being so, like, organic and growing, like, that surely is, like, rewarding and thinking, "God, this is longevity, this is fine." It's not just, like, a viral thing that pops up and it's in and gone, like, that's
Yeah.
yeah, so
I mean, but I would much rather grow that way. I mean, we
absolutely.
were actually, so it's funny you say that. We went from a half shelf to a full shelf.
Mhm.
Then we went to 2 shelves. When we went to 2 shelves, before that, Sephora actually offered us a full end cap, which is 4
Yeah,
shelves. And I was like, "I don't have products for a 4 shelf. What do you mean? Like, I
you
can't
tricked
make
down the line.
I can't make products fast
Yeah.
enough to fill it up, and then I'm just gonna fail."
Mhm.
And so, and they literally said to me, they were like, "Literally nobody's ever turned us down before, because most people just want space."
Yeah, of
And
course.
they're like, "If you give me the space, I'll fill it up. Don't
Yeah.
worry, I'll figure it out." But I really didn't want to launch things that weren't good.
Yeah.
And I think that's when a lot of brands have problems, is when they're like, "Oh, if you're gonna give me 3 shelves, I have to fill the 3 shelves.
Mhm.
Well, how quick can I go do that?"
Yeah.
But it's hard to make products fast
Mhm.
and also have them be good.
Yeah.
And so I literally said no, and that's the reason why I think we've had this really nice sustained growth, because people trust us and they
Yeah.
trust our products.
Yeah, I think that's really powerful, isn't it? And there's, people are so scared of saying no because they
Yeah.
think it's going to close one door,
Mhm.
but actually you can go back
Or they
stronger.
don't think it'll come back
Yeah,
around, or they have to get this opportunity.
yeah,
And I think fear in general, to make decisions out of fear,
it's
is
never
really
healthy.
dangerous.
Yeah, and it's never going to end well, is it? If
Yeah.
you do that. So, I mean, that's quite a strong message, isn't it? I think, and it's a powerful one, and it should be celebrated. I think sometimes when people are like, no, actually, I'm not ready for this, but I will be,
Yeah.
and then.
But and I get it. It is hard,
Mm.
but you just have to like listen to
Yeah,
yourself.
and believe in those values, right?
Yeah.
And lead with those. So it's amazing. I have a couple of quick fire questions
Yeah.
to ask you. I thought it was always a good way to.
Easy breezy.
Yeah, exactly. So, your favorite Tower 28 product that you're most proud of?
I mean, it's literally like saying who my favorite child.
Yeah, I know.
And I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. But in truth, my favorite product really is our SOS spray.
Mhm.
Not only is it our number 1 selling
Yeah.
product, it is the number 1 toner at Sephora, but also we named it SOS because it saved our skin, and it
Yeah.
really did save my skin. So I don't take steroids
Mhm.
anymore. I really do use that product religiously. And I know what a difference it makes for people and their skin.
That's incredible. Um, one beauty product that you loved but your skin couldn't tolerate. This season of the Silly Little Girls Club is proudly sponsored by Sephora, the beauty destination where everybody belongs. Whether you're a beauty beginner or a full-blown beauty obsessive, Sephora has something for you. From trans-led makeup masterclasses and appearance inclusive tutorials to expert services and founder talks in store, the events are next level. Add in prestige products, inclusive vibes, and that dreamy Sephora collection. It's a big yes from me.
The only thing that really comes to mind, honestly, is fragrance.
Yeah.
So I do sometimes really love, like, even like a fragrance body lotion,
Yeah.
and I love the way it feels, but it's probably less my skin can't. Essential oils can sometimes
Yeah.
bother me, but it's sometimes they just give me a headache.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of fragrance gives
Yeah,
me a
I
headache.
yeah, I could see a lot of hairsprays do that to me when
Yeah.
I'm working in session and you're just like, "Oh my god, I literally can't even see."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, who put this amount of fragrance in something? It's just not right. So, your most surprising moment since you launched in the UK?
Oh, since I launched in
Yeah,
the UK.
we'll do it yeah, the UK 'cause it's quite fresh, isn't it? So,
Yeah, I mean, it's the
yeah.
state. What's
Yeah.
my most surprise? I mean, I'm shocked by how jet lagged I've been. Um, I mean, honestly, the reception has been really, like, so delightfully surprising.
Mhm.
Like I said, we were the number 1 brand at Liverpool last week.
Wow.
We were
They just launched that store too.
at
Like,
launch
yeah.
the number 1 brand. And the number of, like, I did a personal appearance this morning, and there were, like, children lined up,
Wow.
like, to come in, and like you said, Sephora has a
Yeah.
younger audience
Yeah.
these days. So I think it's just uh, you hope that these things translate, but you don't really
Yeah.
know if they will. And like we had the biggest wait list they'd ever had at Sephora. Like these things, and you're like, how is this even
It's like,
possible?
how is this my life?
Yeah,
Like,
and yet this is like a place that I mean, the first time I ever left the United States and went out of the country, that wasn't Asia. My parents, are from Asia,
yeah.
so I'd gone to Asia as a kid. But the first time I ever went on a trip, by myself was to London.
Hmm.
And, like, to come back here and be like and it felt so foreign to me, even, like, the looking the wrong way, all
Yeah,
it's
but then when you're crossing the road,
like, try not to get
I
hit
have
by
it
a
going the
car.
other way. So whenever I visit my friend, I'm like, God, I'm gonna get run over.
Yeah, yeah. But all of these things, and so it has been really, so delightfully surprising.
Yeah. And what about since actual launch? So back to 2019, what's been the most surprising thing since then?
I think honestly, all of it's been surprising. I worked for, other founders, and I was the person who wrote all their press answers, and I wrote their speeches, and I handled all of those things for them. And if you would ask the founders I had worked with, everybody would always ask them, like, "How does it feel to be so successful, and are you surprised?"
Yeah.
And they would always say, "No, I always knew I was going to be successful."
Mhm.
And when people ask me, I'm like, "I I never knew."
No,
Shops every day. I actually think that, like, because I worked in the same industry for a long time,
Mm.
I think I had a different bias where I was like, I was cynical.
Yeah.
I was like, I've seen everything before. Like, oh, that's not going to work. It's not different enough or whatever. And so I'm constantly surprised that this has actually translated into something that people really care about. And it makes me so happy.
No, I think that's because you built such a lovely community around it, though, and it has got, it's getting that cult status already,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel like a brand that's only been, 6 years. Like
Yeah,
it's because that's really a relatively small time to be able to go from,
it
that
is.
first to like a global product now,
And
right?
and for that, I really like it's the community. Like
Mm.
people really have adopted the products and really embraced our values. And I think that that's I'm so grateful for that because frankly, we've been a small team, a small company. We haven't like done paid influencer. We haven't done like a lot of we haven't been able to afford like huge performance
Yeah.
marketing budgets. And we've never done like a celebrity campaign. There's so many things that we haven't done. And so it truly is word of mouth.
Gosh, and that's, it's incredible. So what is next for Tower 28? I know it seems crazy because you're just launching here,
I
but like
know. So we're launching the Middle East in
that's exciting.
September,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I know is so exciting because like Dubai
Yeah.
is maybe I think the biggest Sephora in the world.
Yes. And they do Sephora.
Yes.
It's like wild.
Yeah, so we're launching there. We're expanding our footprint in the US and making it even bigger at Sephora.
Uh,
So there's just a lot of it is just like kind of more, if you
yeah.
will, so more products, more we're really mindful. I'm really careful about how much product we launch.
Yeah.
I don't want to just launch product for the sake of launching.
No.
And want to actually be like solving a problem and offering like an incremental benefit to the customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're launching some really good stuff. We're growing the team and
Just
going
keep
into new
going.
markets.
That's incredible. I mean, when you do sort of bring in new products to the portfolio,
Mhm.
how do you determine what they're going to be? Is it like listening to the community, or is it like, you think, oh, a lightning bulb moment?
Yeah, it's all of the above. So we
Mhm.
actually we have our product philosophy is what we call good, clean, fun.
Mhm.
So the products have to be good. So in order for them to be good, we have to understand what is not good,
Yeah.
right? So we actually do quite a bit of research to understand like, I don't know, is there a blush that is a cream blush out there, but it doesn't last.
Mhm.
So maybe I can make it lasting.
Yeah.
Is there a concealer out there that you love, but it's so drying and cakey and nobody can find one that is hydrating but lasts long?
Yeah.
Right. So like what does good mean? And then we try to figure that out. Clean means safe for sensitive skin and non-toxic.
Mhm.
And so maybe, I don't know, you have a great mascara, but there's no such thing as one that's like safe for sensitive eyes and is also non-toxic.
Yeah.
And then fun for me means two things. One, it's about aesthetics. So it's like I want it to be like fun and approachable and,
Yeah.
world building and all of those things. But then I also want the price point to be fun,
Mhm.
right? So I want you to be able to shop at Sephora. I want you to be able to carry the little black and white bag and feel like this high-end
Yeah.
experience. But I also want you to be able to buy yourself like a matcha.
Yeah. Pay your rent. No, that'd
Clear
be
net. So,
good.
like,
Yeah.
our lip gloss is
Yeah.
£60 instead of being 25
Mhm.
or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those are all the things I
And
picked up.
they're full of incredible ingredients and they work
Yeah.
because, there's a lot of brands that you see out there that don't put in the R&D and they don't put in this like love and care. and they're £25, and you're just like, oh,
So if we can't, we try to solve all of those problems whenever we approach product development.
that's incredible. Well, I'm absolutely honoured that you came on the podcast.
Yes, thank you for having
Oh,
me.
it's honestly lovely. I can't wait to get this out there. And you're very inspiring, and I just think what you're doing is incredible. And I think just speaking to you and having just listening to the impact that you're having on young girls as well is just incredible. So no, thank you for launching Tower 28 and for doing it in such an incredible way. So thank you.
While I have you, it would really help me out if you could just hit follow or subscribe, depending on which platform you're getting your podcasts from, and I can keep bringing you these amazing conversations with these incredible guests. And I will see you next week on the Silly Little Girls Club.